Hiya, fans. Looking for action? Well, you'll get a big bang out of this.
It's cool days and hot boats in Bay City. 65 boats compete in a charity classic. 200,000 fans swarm the Michigan race site. Bay Harbor hosts first race in Triple Crown Series. The roar offshore is heard on Lake Huron. Offshore fever rips through the Midwest. Today, Marine Machine takes us inside racing with skater boat builder Peter Ledden. Midnight Express takes us behind the scenes where we'll learn how offshore races are scored. Navimaster Corporation's featured race team series presents the Bermuda race team. Derek Simons explains how they became national champions in a single season. Laser Racing Engine takes us to the mechanics corner. We'll see Mercury's factory support team in action. So join us on a low-altitude, high-speed flight around the race course as we pursue these 100-mile-per-hour missiles. All this and more in this edition of the Offshore Powerboat Race Report.
APBA, the American Powerboat Association. Its challenge, fun and excitement. Whether it's unlimited hydroplanes, offshore, outboard hydros and runabouts, inboard or drag, the APBA offers 9 categories of excitement. Racing, officiating, and just plain spectating are a few of the many benefits APBA membership affords you. Send your $30 and join the APBA today.
Even though most people never need to use all the speed and performance Midnight Express is noted for, they like to know they could.
It's the thrill of a lifetime, one hell of a show. Let's all climb aboard. It's time to go on that Midnight Express. I ain't nothing less than the very best. On that Midnight Express, just coming through.
Midnight Express. It takes one to catch one.
The Bay Harbor Charity Classic is the 5th race on the APBA OPT Tour. Here on Saginaw Bay, Michigan, the fans turned out by the thousands to greet the racers. For one weekend a year, Bay City turns into Play City for the offshore racers and the race fans. Staging an event like this requires the time and talents of many people. Race promoter Dick Fleischman explains what it takes to make it all work.
When it gets to the actual race day, my job is pretty much done. Technicality of holding a meeting here or there really is the easy part of it. The hard part is trying to orchestrate a couple hundred volunteers and put together a 120-boat patrol fleet and medical staff, and just even the security guards. It's hard to just get that all together so that they don't harass people, and by the same token, we don't want anybody to harass them. So it's just one combined effort. I guarantee you it takes just tons of people to do it, and all of which is volunteer. Nobody gets a dime.
The days before the race are filled with many activities. Racers and organizers work on last-minute details. The day before the race, a driver's meeting is held to acquaint everyone with the race course and the rules. The men that race these boats come from all over the country to attend each race. Only 3 weeks separate each race, and it's a major feat just to keep all the equipment running. With races scattered throughout Florida, Louisiana, Michigan, and New Jersey, it can become a logistical nightmare moving the crews and boats from site to site. Of all the teams out here, perhaps no one comes farther to attend each race than today's featured race team. The Bermuda race team commutes to the United States over a dozen times a year to compete. This stamina paid off last year when they captured the 1988 National Championship in stock class.
Back home, I poked with boats a lot myself, and through running the cat back home, we just decided to come out, and we felt that we could do something with a motor. So we took the EFYs off, put the 200s on, and we just went from there.
What do the folks say back home? Do they have you as a folk hero, as being the U.S. national champion, first time out?
Well, no. Family-wise, friends, some friends, yes, they like it, but others, you know, they don't say too much about it. They're not really into a lot of motorsports down there. That's another reason why we decided to come out this way and race. I like this class, sir. It's really, you really got to be on your P's and Q's. No slip-ups, no mistakes, because the other guys are right there. I like the rough part of it. I really like that there. That's where I get most of my enjoyment.
Early morning race day, there's a lot of activity in the wet pits. Fans crowd around for a close-up look at these incredible machines and for a glimpse of the men who drive them. Race crews prepare their boats for late-breaking water conditions. It's a great spot for people watching. Here we'll see the movers and the shakers. Some come to win, others to watch. But one thing they all agree on, today's a perfect day for a race. We'll be right back with the start of the race after these messages.
Not all transom brackets are created equal. In fact, it can take 5 of theirs to equal 1 of ours. That's why B-Bracket is the world's best-selling multi-engine transom bracket. Our multi-engine B-Brackets are engineered for double, triple, 4-engine, even 5-engine applications. These days, everyone knows the installation of a transom bracket will improve both the looks and performance of your boat. The installation of a B-Bracket will prove you know better. B-Brackets, designed for those who know better.
For dynamic racing action, don't miss our entire series. The Offshore Powerboat Race Report is available by mail order at each race site and at many popular high-performance dealers. Tapes for the current race are available for shipping within 10 days. Just call 305-386-1154 for information about the dealer nearest you. You can keep up with the racing action all year long because the next checkered flag is just one tape away. Today's race is the first race of Michigan's Triple Crown Series. All 5 classes of national boats plus sportsman's class will be competing. This is one big event that has brought intense local media coverage. And we go now to reporters from radio station WSGW. They're broadcasting from the start-finish boat on today's race.
So it'll be 155 and 7/8 miles for the superboats. The modified boats will take 1 long lap up around Augrey and then 4 short laps around the interior of the course, a total of 120 and 7/8 miles.
Yeah, you'll see some real racing there too, because those boats can get up and get in with the opens and occasionally the supers. They're going to run a little less, but still they'll push as hard as they will for 120 as the other boats will for 155.
Now that's both the modifieds and the pro stocks that will take that 1 long and 4 short.
And the stocks. The stocks, everyone, the only ones that will not go the long lap are the sportsman's class. The sportsman's classes will just be running the 4 short.
Welcome to the 1989 Bay Harbor Charity Classic. We have 33 national class and almost 30 sportsman class boats competing in today's race. We'll be covering the race today from the water with our boat cams on checkpoint 1 and 4. Our helicopter point of view cam will bring us the race from the air. We're over the milling area for Superboat and Open class as they start to line up. It's Eric's Reality in the center. Next to him on the outside is Hawk Marine Power. Whoa, we got a green flag. This was a quick start. It's really taken the racers by surprise. We have Assault in the center. In front of him is Gentry Turbo Eagle, followed by Special Edition. These racers were sharp enough to get a hole shot at the beginning of the race. Being alert has paid off for these guys. Running out in front is RDS. He's really pouring it on. This boat is a 45-foot Apache V-bottom. This team consists of rookie driver Stephen Baldwin and veteran throttleman Keith Hazel. Keith Hazel is known for his rough water abilities. It will be interesting to see what this boat will do if the water kicks up. We can see how good this big Apache can run, even in the smooth water. RDS is currently in 4th place in national standings, and a win here would move him up to 3rd place. RDS is stretching their lead over the other superboats. This is the 5th race of the season, and the results will determine who is still in the running for the national championship points. As they round checkpoint 1, it's RDS followed by Special Edition. Close behind is Hawk Marine Power. Next to him is Assault. Chairman of the board is in 4th place in Open class. Little Caesar's Pizza is in 2nd place in Superboat after a bad start.
You get the idea. I hope
Spirit of America had some problems getting on plane at the start. Back up on our helicopter point of view camera, we are at the 2nd start of the day. It's another quick start. These guys were ready for it. They're taking off immediately. Agitator leads. Ocean Outboard is followed by Miss Dawn Q Rum and Team Skater. These are the UIM-2 and Pro Stock class boats. These boats are mid-sized catamarans that range from 27 to 33 feet in length. They are known for their high speeds and maneuverability. As always, we find a lot of close competition in this class. The big action is with Agitator and Ocean Outboard. These Pro Stock boats are really dialed in for this race. Usually the UIM-2 boats have a substantial lead over the Pro Stock by this time in the race. Tony Caligri in Ocean Outboard is staying right in the wakes of the UIM-2 class boats. It's 70 degrees and the sky is slightly overcast. Winds are from the northwest about 10 knots. We're seeing at least a light chop all over the bay today. The weather conditions and low humidity are ideal for getting maximum horsepower out of these engines. Agitator is a father and son team. Father Alan Duttman is the driver. Kirk Duttman is on the throttles. This team has been running well all year. They are currently in 2nd place in the U.S. Continental Point standings. They're only about 37 points behind Team Skater, so a win here could put Agitator in 1st place in UIM-2 class. Kevin Brown of Team Skater is making a move to keep Agitator in check. It looks like he intends to keep his lead on point standings. Both of these boats are 32-foot skater catamarans. Agitator has twin 650 horsepower United Racing engines. Team Skater is powered by twin 540 horsepower Lightning Performance engines. Agitator has good trim attitude for these water conditions. It looks like it's 1 to 2 foot seas. These boats are running at about 108 to 110 miles an hour and are picking up speed. This is our first big duel of the day. Agitator and Team Skater are going at it hard. Tony Caligari in Ocean Outboard has surprised us by running as fast as he can. He's been right up there with the UIM2 boats. He's really trimmed out in getting all the air he can in his tunnel. This boat is really flying. Down on checkpoint number 1, our boat cam catches the racing action. It shows how close these boats are to one another as they make these high-speed turns. We have a start in stock class. Stock class leader in the first turn is Hat Trick. Side by side is Vigilante, Conk Attack, and Assault. This is really close racing. Out on the long stretch of the course, good navigation is crucial. This is the longest leg, and if you miss a checkpoint, you'll lose valuable time looking for it. It looks like Showdown knows where he's going. Right now he's in second place in Pro Stock behind Miss Don Q. Rum. Here's P32 Team Skater. The driver is Russ Wilkins, and Red Crane throttles this boat. They're running in the thick of it. They're a few hundred yards behind the leaders. Team Skater is in 5th place in Pro Stock behind Miss Don Q. Rum, Showdown, First Defense, and High Risk. High Risk is in 4th place in Pro Stock. Throttleman Richard Felsen has his skater running even. He's trying to get everything he can out of his Mercuries. It's paying off because he's making time on the leaders. On the outside of High Risk is First Defense running in 3rd place. Here we have some stock class action. Skater Express and Hat Trick are going at it neck and neck. They're fighting for top spot in stock class. Skater Express's current point leader in national standings in stock class. Hat Trick needs a first or a second place win here in Bay City to move up into 2nd place for the year. Vigilante Race Team is currently in 2nd place in national points race. Driver Michael Moritz and Throttleman George Peterson are moving up on the leaders. Only about 50 yards separates the top 4 positions in stock class right now. Most of these stock boat racers are all out. Their boats are trimmed to maximize their tunnels. They have their Mercuries redlined. Stock boat racers have a go for broke attitude. Even though they push their boats to the limit all race long, this class has the fewest attritions. The stock class is nicknamed the Z28 class. These boats are all almost exactly the same in their make and power. Nobody has a distinct advantage in hull design or power package. Most of the class run skater hulls. They all have the same Mercury outboards. The combined talents of the drivers and the throttleman decide who wins in this class. Our boat cam at check 4 shows us the hot race between Superboats RDS and Eric's Reality. Chairman of the board and special edition lead open class. Assault is in 3rd place in open class, followed by Hawk Marine Power in 4th place. Little Caesar's Pizza is in 3rd place in Superboat class. Cat is running 5th in open class. Spirit of America is in 6th place in open class and determined to catch up. Here comes the UIM2 and Pro Stock boats. Team Skater leads UIM2. Agitator is close behind. Ocean Outboard leads Pro Stock ahead of Merlin's Infinity from open class. Miss Don Q. Rum and First Defense follow in Pro Stock. Eastern Express and High Risk and Talon Cup 37 chase the leaders around checkpoint number 4. The stock class is led by S-125 Assault. Hat-Trick is next. And Skater Express is in third place in stock class. S-54 Vigilante leads Sunfire, currently in fifth place in stock class. Back up in our helicopter point of view camera, we catch up with the Superboat nearing checkpoint 5. Here is Eric's Reality. This boat has won every race this year except Sarasota when it broke down. Even then they managed to fix the boat and pour it on enough steam to finish in third place. There is no doubt about this 48-foot Apache Cougar is the fastest boat on the circuit this year. Rookie driver Charles Marks has surprised a lot of people this year by the way he's consistently won. Teammate Bobby Moore is a legendary race figure who invented the position of throttle man years ago. Bobby knows this boat inside and out and rigged it himself. Right now they're leading in Superboat class. As usual, their old nemesis Little Caesar's Pizza is dogging their tail. We're flying at over 110 miles an hour, and these big boats look like they're just out for a Sunday drive. Little Caesar's Pizza is a 47-foot Apache V-bottom. They're currently running in second place in the national point standings. They are a little over 300 points behind Eric's Reality, who is leading the national high points contest. Little Caesar's Pizza has come in second place all year, except in New Orleans where they took third place. They have been running very consistently. None of these races have had rough water to speak of. When this boat gets into some rough water racing later on this year, we expect great things. Little Caesars is driven by Peter Markey and throttled by Trace Martin. They're running triple 1,000 horsepower CNG Cobra racing engines and key caber drives. They're pushing hard and actually have pulled ahead of Eric's Reality. Special Edition is a force to be reckoned with this year. The father and son team of John and J.D. D'Elia are current national champions. It looks like they're well on their way to claiming their title again this year. It's the middle of the season and they have a comfortable lead in the points race. This is a 35-foot Jaguar catamaran and it's having a smooth run today. Special Edition runs on twin 900 horsepower Gentry Eagle inboards and key caber outdrives. One of their open class competitors is already out of the race. Hawk Marine Power is down with mechanical problems and it looks like they won't be able to continue. Here's somebody who's not out of it. It's Assault. They're definitely giving Special Edition a run for the money. This is the old Bob Kaiser Systems boat and it has a history of winning. This is the second race of the boat this season and the boat debuted in Sarasota under the name of Sheer Delight. It took first place only 3 weeks ago. Assault is a 38-foot Cougar catamaran driven by Edwin Shear and throttled by David Fernandez. They are running twin 750 horsepower Mercury engines and Mercury outdrives. This is a rookie crew in open class and they are showing a lot of promise. They're not far behind Special Edition and it could become a neck-and-neck race at any time. We have a problem in our helicopter. The transmission chip warning light has come on and the transmission is overheated. This could be serious. Our pilot is looking for a place to make an emergency landing. Let's take a look at the boat cam action while our helicopter crew tries to make it to safety. Eric's Reality is back in front of Little Caesar's Pizza. Little Caesar's is in second place in Superboat class. In open classes, Salt has pulled out a special edition to take the lead. Special edition is only seconds behind the leader, Assault. The long lap of the course can make or break a race team. We can see how drastically the positions of the race have changed since the boats passed the scores at checkpoint 4, and they gave us this report.
Who's running? Okay. Got
We got the kids with us. We're thinking about sending some lines out.
RDS, first place, Super.
All right, I think we're going
Open. Looks like chairman of the board, 55.
How many laps?
This is the first lap. Modified. Team Skater, number 32. Pro Stock is Miss Don Q. No, Ocean Outboard, first place so far. For stock boats, Assault.
We'll return with the exciting conclusion of today's race after our feature stories. Inside Racing is brought to you by Marine Machine, where the quality never stops. Peter Ledden describes the role of the boat builder in offshore racing.
Well, Pete, I think the real success comes from the racers themselves. We wouldn't be winning as much as we do without teams behind us, and that takes a lot of effort on the part of a lot of people. We do our best at the factory building the boats, but beyond that, it's up to the individuals that own the boats. And there are always new things coming out, new construction techniques, new drives, new engines, new setups, new people. We subscribe to a lot of different technological magazines and so on, and every time you pick something up, there's an article on the new composite technology on the FSX fighter, or on the stealth bomber, and you read about it, you call up the companies, you see what's available, and the pace is changing so rapidly that you can never be on top in terms of lamination schedules or anything like that. Boat manufacturing is at such a primitive stage compared to what the rest of the world is doing technologically in composites. But hopefully, you know, we'll eventually get there.
Midnight Express takes us behind the scenes, where APBA chief scorekeeper Betty Tyson explains how offshore races are scored.
Right now it's really difficult because at the start there were only 3 miles between the start and this boat. And with 3 miles and the number of boats coming at you, they're all bunched up together, and it's really difficult to get all the boat numbers down. But between the 3 of us, we got all the numbers, so that's all that matters, is we get them all. There are 3 people that we asked to have on each turn boat. One is the scorer, one is the spotter, and the other is the lap count person. The scorer and spotter work together, with the scorer having a clipboard with a clock on it, and the spotter standing behind them using binoculars, calling out the boat numbers and telling them when to mark them, such as Bravo 99 or Papa 63. We use the marine terms because it's difficult otherwise to hear a B or a P or a C or a D, and this way we make sure that we have the proper numbers. And then the scorer actually doesn't get to see much of the race. The scorer is busy writing down the boat numbers and times while the spotter is calling them out. And at the same time, you have a lap count person checking off the boats as they go by each lap, so that you can see who finished first, so you'll know exactly when to give out a checkered flag. That's a pretty good system, and it works really well for us, and it's worked for all of the races across the country.
There's a certain group of hard-working, hard-playing adventurers who take their recreation very seriously. They seek all the thrills and excitement life has to offer. The evidence of their enthusiasm for adventure is all around us, in the form of the recreational vehicles they use in pursuit of a good time. Speedboats, glider planes, motorcycles, and jet skis. At last, the underwater adventure seeker comes into his own with the advent of Sports Sub. If you're one of the new breed and you're ready for the ultimate in underwater action, plunge into adventure in a Sports Sub. It's the personal submersible for the new frontier.
Catch the spray. Call today. Want to get involved? Participant, sponsor, spectator, or fan. Call today while you can. Buy a rig off the shelf or custom build one to your specifications. Offshore racing, inboard, outboard, diesel. It's yours for the asking. Catch the spray. Call today.
Mechanics Corner is brought to you by Laser Racing Engines. Jim Gorlitz shows us how Mercury uses its factory support teams in the field.
Our new support vehicle that we have here at the race site this year is utilized for supporting all the racers that do attend national races. We bring the support vehicle to wherever the sites might happen to be running as far as the time and location of the year. The support vehicle is brought so that we can bring along complete power heads, engines, stern drives, from small parts to larger parts, whatever might be needed by any of the customers that are running Mercury equipment. The function of the truck is basically for support, which is one of our main functions as far as supporting offshore racing. Along with the truck, we do usually bring along 6 to 8 technicians and product support people. We're there at the race to, provide a service to Mercury customers, and whatever it takes as far as to get them into the race is usually what we have to do. Some races end up a little better than others, so you don't have to work as long hours. Sometimes, they work just the opposite. But that's the main function of us being at the races, is to provide support and, take care of the people that are running our equipment.
Welcome back to the 1989 Bay Harbor Classic from Bay City, Michigan.
In Superboat, it's Eric's Reality and Little Caesar's Pizza running 1 and 2. In UIM 2, it's Team Skater, Agitator, and Eastern Express. We're back up in the air after a forced landing due to mechanical difficulties. We fixed the problem and are back in the race. Here's one of the sportsman's class boats that are out here running today. These boats aren't usually driven by professional racers, but this class is a good training ground for future pros. Although they run a shorter race course, it's still very, very competitive. Sassy Cat has turned in the fastest lap so far today of any class. They ran over 115 miles per hour on the first lap. Sassy Cat won this race last year, and it looks like they're about to do the same again this year. This is the first race Cat has run since it flipped during the season opener in Marathon. Al Krupp seems to be running off his usual blistering pace. He's probably just feeling out the boat, making sure everything is okay. He's currently running in 4th place in open class behind Assault, Special Edition, and Spirit of America. Let's check in with our boat cam on Chit Point 4 as UIM2 and Pro Stock boats make the turn. Team Skater and Agitator are still dueling it out for first place in UIM2. Miss Don Q Rum still maintains the lead in Pro Stock. Mike Novick in first defense is trying to close the gap. B-32 Team Skater is running in 3rd place in Pro Stock. High Risk is hanging in there in number 4. Back in our helicopter point of view camera, we're catching some of the best racing action all day long. Agitator and Team Skater are going for it for keeps. Take no prisoners is the name of the game they're playing now. Agitator has the upper hand temporarily, but that can change any minute. Right now, Agitator is running a little bit looser. By running more trim, they're getting more lift out of their tunnel. Team Skater is running more of a level attitude. They are being just a little bit more conservative. This could pay off in the long run, but this race looks like it's going to go down to the finish line. Both of these boats are 32-foot skater catamarans. Agitator is running 220 more horsepower than Team Skater. It's the differences in engines, outdrives, and racing styles that make each race team unique. Even boats that run similar equipment can finish the race very differently. It takes skills in driving, throttling, navigation, and even mechanics to win. Race strategy is another important factor. Each team must decide when to push their equipment and when to save it. These are all things that are happening right now as we watch these two boats go for it. We return to the stock class. Patrick is currently running in second place within striking distance of the leader. Patrick is typical of most of the boats in this class. It's a 24-foot skater catamaran. The driver is Marshall Dutter and the throttle man is Terry Ayers. They've run in every race this season, and it took a first place in New Orleans. A win here could really improve their national point standings. They're steadily closing the gap on the race leader, Skater Express. Patrick won this race last year. They'd sure like to repeat that win. Assault is driven by Peter Rivero and throttled by Robert Galen. They're trimmed out and cranking. This is the thin line when you run on the edge in these little cats. Oh, just like that. They caught a wave and almost stuffed it. They could have easily caught their pickle and spun out. Good recovery, guys. This is one of the biggest boats in stock class. It's unusual in that it's one of the few boats in the class that isn't a skater. This is a 25-foot motion catamaran. Assault is currently running in 4th place in stock class. Sunfire is charging hard. They're in 3rd spot in today's race and are in total control. This team includes a familiar name in stock class racing. It's Pat Kimes of Crimebuster fame. That team was 2nd in last year's national point standings. Pat is the throttle man on this team. The driver is Noel Friedley. Right now they're running very aggressively. They're making up time on the leaders because all these stock boats are only yards apart. We'd like to remind our viewers that if you have any good photos, race stories, or videos, send them to Babe. She wants to put them in her show. Give her a call at 386-1154 in Miami. That's fun, 1154 in Miami. We want to hear from you, so give us a call. You too can be a Babe reporter.
Hey, John, what do you say?
Right now, it's too early to call how many of these stock boats might finish. Noel Friedley finished this race in last place last year in a boat named Absolute. This year, he's obviously going to do a lot better. Here's Double Cross. Michael and Karen Cross are the only husband and wife team on the circuit. Last year, Karen was named Navigator of the Year. They are currently running in 5th place in stock class, and they are within striking distance of 4th place. Right now, they're really trimmed out, getting everything they can out of this boat. The Crosses have been plagued by some equipment problems in earlier races, but have put on a good race today. With the race winding down, 5th place may be good as it gets for them today. Everyone is happy to see more women getting into the sport. Good luck, Karen and Michael. Our helicopter point of view camera moves up to where the open class action is heating up. We have a drag race going between Spirit of America and Special Edition. John Antonelli's Spirit of America Cougar is pushing against John D'Elia's Special Edition Jaguar. The manufacturers have both named these hulls after powerful cats. Now we see why. Both of these race teams are very experienced. Jack Clark is the Viking of offshore, throttling for Spirit of America, and J.D. D'Elia is the throttle man for Special Edition. Spirit of America is in third place in national point standings, and Special Edition is in first. Spirit of America is running 300 horsepower more than Special Edition, but he's pushing a heavier hull. We are running in excess of 115 miles per hour, and Special Edition is still pouring it on. Last year, John D'Elia won this race, and it looks like he has no intentions of letting anyone else stop him this year. Special Edition is powered by twin 750 horsepower Mercury inboard and Merc Cruiser outdrive. This package has kept this catamaran finishing constantly in the money. Twice this season, this boat has been plagued with problems in the fuel system, but they seem to have worked that out. Even with those problems, the D'Elias have finished no worse than third all year long. This team not only wins in open class, but frequently places first overall, even ahead of the superboats. They really push their equipment for all it's worth. This strategy has paid off over and over. It looks like it will pay off again today as they maintain their lead in open class. Assault is holding ground in second place in open class. Edwin Shear has this boat running on a perfect cushion of air. It's been running at the 90-mile-an-hour range all day long. These Merc Cruiser engines and drives are very reliable and could run at these speeds indefinitely. Assault is riding high in the water. That's a good sign for this boat. Throttle man David Fernandez has adapted well to the feel of this 38-foot Cougar. We return to our boat cam for the action at turn 4. Eric's Reality leads in superboat class. Special Edition leads in open class and is second overall today. Miss Don Q Rum is in first place in Pro Stock and third place overall. First Offense is in second place in Pro Stock and fourth place overall. High Risk has moved up into third place in Pro Stock. Team Skater has fallen back to fourth place in Pro Stock. Assault is in second place in open class. Spirit of America is running in third place in open class. Cat has moved up to fourth place in open class. Our helicopter point of view cameras found Eric's Reality down in the water. Eric's Reality is the only superboat left in the race. All the others have dropped out with mechanical problems. Even if they don't return to the race, they should be the winner because they're the last one to drop out. In the open class, we catch up to John Antonelli, driving Spirit of America. This boat is currently in third place in open class. This boat is one of two boats that Antonelli campaigns. Both boats are named Spirit of America, but they run in different classes. This boat is a 38-foot Cougar, and his other boat is a 35-foot Jaguar. It can get pretty confusing because he usually runs the Jaguar in open class and the Cougar usually runs in superboat class. Today he's running the Cougar as an open boat. He's had problems running it as a superboat, and it hasn't finished a race in that class all year. He may be running today to test equipment changes or make repairs. All we know is that he isn't running anything in superboat class today. The two boats are named alike and painted alike. They can be a little hard to tell apart until you get close. The numbers are also similar. In superboat class, he uses the number 115. In open class, he uses the number 15. Why all the 15s? Here's a hint. The race shop address is 1515 Southwest 15th Avenue. I guess 15 is his lucky number. Spirit of America throttle man Jack Clark is another racing veteran. Known as the Viking of offshore, Jack has contributed a lot to offshore over the years. His most notable contribution has got to be the Jaguar race hull that he built. Many people claim the Jaguar is the fastest hull on the circuit. Jack is the builder. Right now, Jack Clark in Spirit of America is in the position of getting beaten by his own race hull. Spirit of America is miles behind the leader, Special Edition. In a surprise move, Eric's Reality is up and running again. They didn't have to make this comeback to win this race. All their competitors are already forced out of the race. They don't need a finish to win. That shows what great competitors these guys are. Charles Marks and Bobby Moore could have packed it up and gone home and still taken a checkered flag. Instead, they chose to risk further damage to their boat by continuing with this race. As the saying goes, quitters never win and winners never quit. This team proves it every race. As we fly over the spectator area, we can see some of the thousands of race fans that turned out today. The Michigan Triple Crown always draws big crowds. Thousands of boaters line up on the bay to watch these racers every year. Offshore mania is alive and well in Michigan. Special Edition is both open class and overall leader. Assault has managed to hang on to second place. There's a good chance that these boats will hang on to these positions to the end. Here's Spirit of America running in third place in open class and in third place overall. Eric's Reality is fourth overall, but obviously the winner in superboat class. Al Kropp has run a conservative race today. Cat has made it up to fourth place in open class in this comeback race. Also running in their second race of the year, Merlin's Infinity. This is the only diesel-powered V-bottom in open class. They'll take a fifth place today. This is a prototype hull design, and it still has some problems. They expect to get it dialed in as the season progresses. Recapping today's race, in Superboat class, Eric's Reality has proved to be the season's consistent winner. Little Caesar's Pizza swapped the lead several times before spinning out with a broken out drive. Special Edition adds another win to Open class with an average speed of 92 miles per hour. Look for Assault in the national point standings. They've run 2 races this year and have a first and a second place win. UIM2 class had the hottest racing all day. Team Skater gets to keep the scalp. They battled Agitator for 5 laps to take the win. Miss Don Q-Rom took its 3rd win this year in Pro Stock. First Defense took a 2nd place and moved up to 3rd in the national point standings. In Stock class, Skater Express took the flag. Hat Trick came in 2nd.
What an incredible race. Now let's take a look at the finals while we return to the docks.
Today's winners are Superboat class, Eric's Reality, Little Caesar's Pizza, and RDS. Open class, Special Edition, Assault, and Spirit of America. UIM2 class, Team Skater took the 1st, Agitator 2nd, Eastern Express took 3rd. Pro Stock, Miss Don Q-Rum, First Defense took 2nd, and High Risk took a 3rd. Stock class, Skater Express, Hat Trick, and Sunfire took a 3rd. If your race team has any interesting ideas for feature stories, contact one of our site producers or cameraman. They've got those famous blue striped t-shirts on. We always are interested in new people, equipment, and race developments. You might even become our next featured race team. Give us a shout. We want to hear from you. If you have any good photos, race stories, or videos, send them to Babe. She wants to put them in our show. Call 386-1154 in Miami. That's fun. 1154 in Miami. She wants to hear from you, so give us a call.
As in every race, there are winners and there are losers. Just as each racer has his own reason for racing, each has his own thoughts afterwards.
What did it cost us? Oh, probably $5,000 for a $6 gasket. So it's a bad break for us.
God, the race was great today. It took a second. I'm still alive.
Worse than normal. 5th out of 5 boats, we've been having some real problems picking up water, and we changed our pickup systems and got the pickups down so low they acted as brakes, and we couldn't run fast at all.
Serious failure. Not exactly what happened, we don't know yet. And as far as we know, we don't know what happened, but we'll probably figure it out.
Our 3rd season racing, we were doing real good here this year and running 2nd behind Don Q. And the part that might cost 10 cents. Took and cracked, and we lost the motor, and our motor went down. We didn't lose it, and it kind of put us out of the running.
On a more serious note, I've said this 1,000 times, and I will continue to say it. I would personally like to thank all of the stock class, the sportsman class, and all of you guys that have smaller boats, because if it weren't for you, there wouldn't be any racing. From the bottom of my heart, I accept this for you.
Nothing to say? Thank you. We'll see you next year.
Babe Productions would like to thank the APBA and Lake St. Clair Offshore Racing Association for helping us bring you the Bay Harbor Charity Classic on video. We hope you have enjoyed the race and that you'll continue to follow the offshore action throughout the year. We'd like to remind our viewers that Babe Productions is the only video company officially sanctioned by the APBA. We'll be bringing the excitement of every race in the 1989 APBA OPT circuit right into your home with 11 editions of the Offshore Powerboat Race Report. You can keep up with the racing action all year long because the next checkered flag is just one tape away.